Hey Zach, thanks for doing this. We'll start with the easy ones first, right? Each season you usually get to play the Red Wings, what, like three times, something like that. I mean, eight times in this regular season. What did you think when you saw the schedule come out and you knew you'd be able to play the Wings that often?
Yeah, it's fun. Like I say every year, for me, growing up here, having family and friends here, this is home for me, and just terms of where I've grown up, and it's the team I've rooted for my whole life. So, um, nothing really changes in terms of hockey wise. Definitely different without family and friends in the building. Um, but yeah, it's always fun when I get to play against my hometown team.
Are you even able to, have family visit you when you're there at all? I mean, according to the protocols?
No, we're not. Dylan Larkin's actually leaving my dad a couple of tickets for the game tomorrow. I think they're allowed like 60 family and friends or something like that. So that's really nice to him. So my dad's going to come to the game. My parents are going to come. Um, but usually I have like 20, 30 friends and family there. So it's definitely different, but at least my family gets to come to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. The last one from me would be just going back to last night's game. I know Forsberg makes a good play on you out there, and the wall goes the other way. You guys have had a number of these odd man rushes, though. That wasn't the only one. What are you seeing as maybe the biggest area that you can try and fix those guys, those things going forward?
Yeah, I mean, that one, obviously it's my fault. Try making a play, doesn't work out. Um, he makes a good play kind of reading it. But it's one of those things where you got to take, the good with the bad. And that was a bad play for me. But, moving forward here, if, I see another opportunity, I'm going to try and make a play again. It sucks how it ended up, but, early in the season right now, I'm still, kind of trying to find my game, find my feet. And, um, it sucks. But in terms of odd man rushes, we've kind of given up a lot lately, these first two games. We have to try and limit lows. I think that just starts with being above the puck, making sure we're sharp on our reads as defensemen, um, and, not getting picked on the, pickpocketed at the blue line. But yeah, no, that was a tough one.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Mark Shy. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, Glenn. Hey, Zach. Going back to Dylan Larkin for a minute, the friendship between you and him is obviously well publicized, but for him to become a captain of the Detroit Red Wings, just how cool was it from your perspective to hear that, and just what makes him a good captain?
Yeah, obviously I think it's very well deserved on his part. Since he's joined the league, he's kind of been a silent leader of that team. I know his rookie year, playing with guys like Zetterberg and Cromwell, you're obviously not going to say too much in the room, I'm sure, but in terms of how he played and how he's handled himself since he's been in the NHL, I think everyone who watches him play and hears him talk and hears his interviews can definitely see why he's the captain of that hockey team. And ever since I played with him, he drives play, drives teams. He's got that engine that never shuts off. Like I said, he's kind of a quiet leader, doesn't really say too much. Obviously, might be different in Detroit. I don't know, but just growing up with him, he was never the guy to talk too much in the locker room, but just lead by example in his play and how he carries himself off the ice. So very well deserved. I was super happy to hear it. You know, I kind of feel like a lot of people knew it was coming, but once you actually see it and hear it, it's awesome, especially for him being from Detroit and getting to wear that tee. So it's pretty cool.
And just with the noon start tomorrow, ask Torts and Seth this, just is there anything that you have to do differently preparation wise to make sure that you're ready to go?
No, not really. Um, I think it could be kind of good for us in a sense. You just wake up and play hockey. For me, um, since the last night's game, all I can think about is the third period for me, and the turnover to Forsberg and a couple other plays. So for me, it's kind of nice just waking up tomorrow and not really thinking about anything, just playing a hockey game. That's the best part of hockey is you don't have to wait too long in between games. Um, so yeah, so hopefully tomorrow I can just forget about that, and as a team we can just move on and try and get a win.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, thanks, Glenn. Zach, the schedule, sorry, says these are regular season games, whether you like it or not, I guess. But you haven't played any, real games, no exhibition games this preseason. Do these feel like real games yet? Does it feel like you're still getting into regular season mode and perhaps different than in a normal year?
Yeah, I think they felt pretty real. I think the first game, the first few minutes, kind of felt like exhibition a little in terms of just how I felt out there. Um, the game was fast, timing was a little bit off, but I think our second game, and even for a good number of minutes in the first game, we played some good hockey. Obviously like I said a few times already, with just bad third period plays by me and whatnot, we lose a game last night, but I think we played well enough to win. So yeah, I mean, I think the intensity out there definitely felt better last night than it did the first game, but it feels like regular season right now.
Not a question specifically about you, but just as a team, the transition goals and the odd man rushes you guys have allowed. How much does that sort of whittle away at confidence in terms of the way you guys want to play and taking offensive chances and stuff?
Yeah, I don't think it changes much for me personally. I don't think it changes much for our decor or our team. We know how we have to play to be successful. And like I said, we've put in a lot of good minutes these first two games. We don't get any points to show for it. But I think last night we definitely played well enough to win. And we have to keep playing our game. We know what makes us successful. We know how we have to play. We're going to clean those things up. And once we do that, once we clean up these little miscues and whatnot, we're going to have success.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Dave Metzel. Go ahead, Dave.
Zach, just one real quick question on you and Dylan again. When you were kids and playing, and you're saying you want to be the next Nick Lidstrom, or somebody wants to be Gordie Howe or Geiserman or whatever. Did anybody ever say, I'm going to be captain of the Wings? I mean, I think it's pretty cool that you two guys grew up being Wings fans, and now one of you winds up wearing the C. It's a cool story.
Yeah, he was the captain of our teams growing up. And, obviously whatever team you cheer for, I'm sure there's a guy on that team that you look up to as a kid. For us, it was the Red Wings. For me, my favorite player was Pavel Datsyuk, even though I played defense. I'm not sure who his favorite player was. But, it's one of those things where I guess your first thought is, as a kid, you want to play for the Wings. And then, you want to win a Stanley Cup. You don't really ever think about being the captain. Maybe he did. He was always the captain. But you kind of just want to be there and be a part of it as a kid. But for him now to have his name with, I think the last three captains are Yzerman, Lidstrom, Zetterberg, now him. So he's the fourth. It's pretty unbelievable. So especially coming from Detroit, coming from Michigan, never leaving Michigan to play anywhere else. It's a pretty unreal story. And it's, I kind of got to see it firsthand a little bit for a number of years. And like I said, I'm super happy for him.
Did you text him right away, or what was the communication like when he was officially named?
Yeah, I actually saw it on Instagram. I think we practiced that day. It was maybe right before our flight or something to Nashville. And a bunch of my friends and people from my hometown were posting him all over their stories. And I didn't really know why, to be honest. And then I clicked on one of the links and I saw he was named captain. And I shot him a text, and it took him a while to respond. I'm sure his phone was blowing up that day, but I'm super happy for him. And like I said, it's well deserved.
Thanks, Zach.
Okay, we'll finally go to Brian Hedrick. Go ahead, Brian.
Zach, I'm just wondering, I know you guys have only really experienced the Nashville part of it so far as atmosphere, the stadium, all that kind of stuff, arena. But I'm wondering, how did the first two games, as far as what it felt like on the ice, compare like to the bubble, where I know they had, kind of more bells and whistles, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think you don't really pay attention to that stuff once you're playing. Obviously there's a lot less energy in the building. Opening nights are always fun. Buildings are always rocking. So it's definitely different in that way compared to the bubble. That's playoffs, so I feel like the intensity and you can kind of just feel that in the air, that it's playoffs. But in terms of playing hockey and it being the regular season. We have jobs to do and we want to win. We're competitors. We want to win every night. So yeah, it felt, like a hockey game. I don't really think guys were thinking too much about fans and, what the bubble was like. It was just trying to go out there and get a win. Fortunately, we haven't yet, but tomorrow's a new day.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Zach.
Yep. Thanks, guys.